It's time for some hostile therapy.
All right, welcome to Hostile Therapy. Oh, there we go. Got it. On Thursday night, with me, Big Red, your host, and returning. He's on mute right now, but he's about to get in a minute. LT, returning for another show. He's actually mute. He's not on mute. He is mute. Gotta get that right there.
I do that every time, yeah,
Oh, he's got his
peace,
voice. It's a miracle.
word, peace, guys, peace to the earth, all of that good shit. Today's mathematics, my motherfucking knowledge God. So you know what I'm saying? Walk with knowledge, walk with God. There you go. What's happening?
What's happening? What's happening? All right, got LT, and we got Preezy chewing on some crunching munch or something in the background.
I'm sorry.
Nah, you good. You good. How's everything going on over there? You got the purple background or wall in the back.
Purple Rain.
Purple Rain. All right. Shout out to Prince. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. to the God Prince.
How are you guys doing?
Making it. Just one more week until the turkey slaughter day.
Oh, no. Turkey slaughter.
Definitely slaughter.
Or
Yeah.
Oh shit, was that the word of the day? What the fuck?
I don't know. You heard that being too.
Yeah, I heard, slaughter.
All
Poor turkey.
right. Before we get in the show today, we put a little ad up before we start. For those of you guys help us hostile therapy. All right, we're back. So, the first thing we're going to talk about today, before we get into an even bigger story, let's see, was it this past Saturday? Yeah, this past Saturday, the one and only great Dave Chappelle was on Saturday Night Live, and as usual, for a lot of great comedians, they let them do their own monologues. And usually, when any other people go up there, actors or whatever, they go up there and they do maybe a 3 to 5 minute monologue. Chappelle had like a 15-minute monologue. And like the first 7 minutes of it, Chappelle, as he always masterfully does, makes light out of a serious conversation. You know, some people probably think it's not that serious, and people are taking it too serious. He made some jokes at Kanye's expense, and also, I guess, the Jewish community expense. They think he did anyway. They're mad at him. I watched it live when it came on. I was like, I didn't see anything wrong with what he said, but of course, it's always something. In case you didn't see it, I'll play it for you. Do you have anything to say, LT?
Oh snap! Well, I just want to say I stand with Chappelle. I feel like we've been saying that a lot for the past few years, and you know what? I'm fine with it because he really hasn't said anything I disagree with. Dave Chappelle has always been my favorite comedian. Quiet as it's kept. He just says some real I was going to spell shit, but
You just gonna say it instead.
Why did you just say it?
I already Play the clip. Roll clip, James.
Yeah, because I didn't see it.
Or I could play the clip of this guy give thanks for Taps here for the $10 donation to the show. Shout out to you.
That's my baby.
Oh shit! Shout out
Reese's
to that baby.
Apparently.
He's a good friend.
Peace to that baby.
All right, let me play the clip right quick. It's only a 7-minute clip. It's not the whole monologue. It's just basically what they found an issue with.
Thank you. Thank you very much for being here. But before I start tonight, I just wanted to read a brief statement that I prepared. I denounce anti-Semitism in all its forms. And I stand with my friends in the Jewish community. And
Shalom.
that, Kanye, is how you buy yourself some time. I gotta tell you guys, I've probably been doing this 35 years now. And early in my career, I learned that there are 2 words in the English language that you should never say together in sequence. And those words are the and Jews. I've never heard someone do good after they said that. Kanye's gotten into some scrapes before. Normally when he's in trouble, I pull up immediately. But this time I was like, you know what? Let me see what's gonna happen first. I just want to see where this is all going. I can't even remember how it started. Vaguely, I remember it started with a tweet, strange tweet. It was like, I'm feeling a little sleepy. I'm gonna give me some rest, but when I wake up, I'm gonna go DEFCON 3 on the Jews. And then he just went to bed. I was up all night worried. What is he gonna do to the Jews? I grew up around Jewish people. I have a lot of Jewish friends. So I'm not freaked out by your culture. I know a little bit about it just from hanging around. Be like, yo, let's go out after school tomorrow. They'll be like, we can't go out. It's Shanana tomorrow. I'll be like, where? What is Shanana? I had so many questions. Why do some of your people dress like Run DMC?
That nigga funny.
When Kanye woke up from that nap, he went right to work. A year ago, I'd seen him on a podcast called Drink Champs. Well, great show. And it was an amazing appearance. Noriega and them were there, the rappers that I love, and they all had their gold chains and stuff on. And Kanye said, only millionaires wear chains. They said, what? He said, I'm a billionaire. Billionaires don't wear their money on their body. I tucked my chain and I said, oh, snap. It was a good appearance. It was fun and funny. But when he woke up, he went on Drink Champs again. This time, he was on one. He was mad about something. He said, I can say anti-Semitic things, and Adidas can't drop me. Now what? Adidas dropped that immediately. Ironically, Adidas was founded by Nazis. And they were offended. I guess the student surpassed the teacher. It's a big deal. He had broken the show business rules. Because it's a rule. You know, the rules of perception. If they're black, then it's a gang. If they're Italian, it's a mob. But if they're Jewish, it's a coincidence, and you should never speak about it. Kanye got in so much trouble, Kyrie got in trouble. Kyrie Irving posted a link to a movie that he had seen on Amazon. No caption on the post or nothing like that. But apparently this movie had some, I don't know, anti-Semitic tropes or something. And it was some weird title like From Hebrew to Negro or something. And the NBA told me he should apologize, and he was slow to apologize. And then the list of demands to get back in their good graces got longer and longer, and this is where, you know, I draw the line. I know the Jewish people have been through terrible things all over the world, but you can't blame that on black Americans. You just can't. You know what I mean? Thanks to the one person that said that. A fair punishment would be you should just post a link to Schindler's List and y'all write your own captions. Kyrie Irving's black ass was nowhere near the Holocaust. In fact, he's not even certain it existed. I saw one news pundit screaming about Kanye. She said, mental health is no excuse for that type of language. Yes, it is, bitch. You can kill somebody if you're mentally ill. Listen, okay, I don't think Kanye is crazy at all. I think he's possibly not well. Well, I've been to Hollywood. I don't want y'all to get mad at me. I'm just telling you. I've been to Hollywood. This was just what I saw. It's a lot of Jews. Like a lot. But that doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? There's a lot of black people in Ferguson, Missouri. Doesn't mean we run the place. I could see if you had some kind of issue, you know what I mean? You might go out to Hollywood and you might start connecting some kind of lines, and you could maybe adopt the delusion that the Jews run show business. It's not a crazy thing to think, but it's a crazy thing to say out loud in a climate like this.
All right, that was the end of that. So, based off of that little bit of a clip, somehow, I knew it was going to happen. He could have just said the Jews in the plain manner like he did at the beginning and stopped there and said nothing else, and they would have denounced him after that show. Of course, he went on. I didn't hear anything that remotely sounded like anti-Semitism in that joke, in that monologue. What did y'all got? What did you guys hear? Did you hear hate speech anywhere?
Freezy, you want to go ahead?
Dave Chappelle just being Dave Chappelle. You know, he just joking. That's what he do. You know, did they say they made a big thing about this?
Oh yeah, the whole ADL, the Jewish NAACP came out.
The Anti-Defamation League.
Yeah, they came after him and saying basically what he said was more worse than what Kyrie Irving and Kanye West did, because he normalized anti-Semitism by those jokes, which is what jokes are supposed to do. It's supposed to normalize life. That's why comedians are comedians.
Comedians. I didn't see anything he said was wrong.
At some point, he even said.
He said it. I love exactly. He said exactly what was going to happen. These are the two words you should never put together. Are excuse me. Let me preference this by saying, L'chaim and Shalom. To all of my Israelites and sons of Abraham, all those all the sons of Jacob and Isaac and shit, all of that, you know what I'm saying? Shalom. So we can safely say the two words you should never say are the Jews. All he did was say it, and yeah, you're right. When it's a group of black people, it's a gang. When it's a group of Italians, it's the mob. Like that's so. When it's a group of Jews, what do we call it? Oh, we're not supposed to call it anything. the infamy behind it is what makes it more obvious. It's like whenever you say something about the Jews, something happens to you, and we're not supposed to say anything about it at all whatsoever. That kind of adds to the rumor of not being able to say anything about it at all whatsoever.
There's two groups like that. What's the other group? Let's see, y'all can guess what it is.
The
You can't say,
LGBTQS
there you go.
QRSTV.
You can't say jokes or anything about those groups.
And that's who Chappelle was talking about in his stand-up specials. And that's when they called him outdated and like a old uncle who's past his prime. And it's like, did you not hear that fucking joke? That this man is hilarious. What do you mean?
I mean, even in the joke, he even made like you kind of sound crazy if you were going to say anything about if there's a connection between Jewish people running the media and stuff like that. I mean, he was playing. I think had some truth in there, but he was kind of
And what's
playing
crazy
too.
is like if you watch Fox News, they say this all the time. Like sometimes you have to watch the news of the oppressor to figure out who they feel like what they believe the oppressor is. And conservative white media has always felt like the Jewish media is also the enemy. And let's be honest, there's a lot of Steens and Steins and Bergs all throughout the entertainment industry. This is nothing new. This is nothing we're not aware of. I was watching me and my woman were watching the Get Down last night, and literally the hip hop industry could not exist without the money of some Jewish kids, some Jewish kids that really loved hip hop. You know, like they became the Leor Cohens and the Rick Rubins of the hip hop industry.
Russell Simmons did not 100% run Def Jam.
He didn't. That old fat guy that looks like Santa Claus with the beard and shit.
Who
Rick
was?
Rubin.
Oh,
He
I
is
was gonna
Jewish.
say that. Oh, he was Jewish.
He is Jewish.
Wow.
They're all over. I mean, I hate to refer to them like a thing. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
Why is that necessarily a bad thing? Why they?
It's not like
I
they have
don't
control.
understand. Yeah, I don't understand some stereotypes in the first place. Like, okay, if there's a stereotype that says, "Oh, y'all, you guys can't dance," to my white people, they say, "Oh, you guys can't dance." Ah, that's negative.
It's a bad
Or
thing because they're exploitative. Because if you think about it, what the things that Kanye West has been upset for years is, when he creates music, he doesn't really make the money that he wants to make off of the music that he creates. You
right.
get, there's 30% that he makes and the 70% goes to who? The record label. You know what I'm saying? Those people he signed the contract with. That's why he's always so adamant about the things he creates and being a creative and being adequately paid for the things he does, because the music industry is an industry. You're not just solely getting paid based upon making the best music that you can make. It's to a certain extent, to a large extent, the artists are being exploited. Road for 26 hours a day for fucking 9 days a week or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the way these artists have to make their money, they make most of their money on the road. They have to tour because
Right.
spending
Yeah,
months and months creating music and recording it in the lab and then selling the product to people, you're only making fucking a third of what you really should be making from it, because the record label, the people, the happy Hanukkah, the people behind it take a large portion of it for your studio time and your fancy outfits and your radio, because they have to pay the radio stations who are run by those people as well. They have to pay the TV stations for your interviews who are run by those people as well. They have to pay the magazines for your interviews who are run by those people as well. So there's a lot of money being exchanged. So the artist is really just it's just a living product that those people see to exploit and sell. It's kind of because they have no rhythm as well. You know what I'm saying? That's the other thing. People love music. People love entertainment. Everyone wishes they could be one. And if you can't be one, the next best thing is controlling them. It's like it's like a puppet and a puppet master. You know what I'm saying? You go to the show to see the puppet, but the puppet is literally just a dummy, and it's only saying what the puppet master is allowing it to say, is what's making it say. It's pulling the strings.
Yeah, that's just the nature of the music business because the richest people in the music business don't even make music anymore. Michael Jackson, probably a bad example because he had the best-selling album of all time. But most of his
Shout out to
money
Jehovah.
came from owning other people's music and residuals from that. 50 Cent, he don't make it. He doesn't even make music anymore, but most of his money is coming from producing his own TV
TV.
shows, movies, and such and such.
I got all his
Um,
books on the wall.
Dr. Dre, most of his money, music came from some damn headphones.
Beats.
P. Diddy,
Yeah.
most of his, well,
Did
he
he
stole a
sell
lot of that money.
everything? Did he still sell clothes? Did he still sell liquor? Did he still sell boys? I'm excuse me. My bad.
Oops. Where's the button? Oh.
He's a billionaire mainly off
Hey,
of
and it's
other
funny that, you
items
know what I'm
outside
saying,
of music.
Kanye West says something on Diddy's Revolt platform, who is also run and funded by those people. Kanye West is no longer a billionaire, and guess who's the newest hip hop billionaire?
P. Diddy.
Take that.
He has his hands in many things,
Can't
but
stop,
it
won't
ain't
stop.
mainly for music. So even though he's known for taking a lot of money from his artists, most of
Exploitative.
his money,
He's learned like his oppressors.
right? Most of his money has come from things outside of music. Jay-Z, actually the same thing probably too. Most of his stuff comes from stuff outside of music.
Jay-Z is really of the I'm only gonna drop one album per year, and now he's gotten to the point where he's like, meh.
Because he doesn't need it anymore. That was his main
I'm gonna
funding,
executive produce blues album. How about that?
and he could do that. That is just hustle
Jay-Z
money.
makes very great investments.
Mm-hmm.
He's very smart.
They're
However,
exploited, and to a certain extent, they're exploitative as well. Yeah,
moves. He makes very smart moves.
he does. You know, good
Mhm.
for him.
And I've been saying, if you can't beat them, do the same thing they do.
But nobody, when it comes to Jews, I mean, you can't say this. You
Then
can't.
people's
Oh, excuse me. Where's the button? But when it comes to us, look at there was a podcaster. He's supposed to be the number one podcaster, right? He was on his show on black people, gorillas,
Who? Who you talking about?
monkeys. What was his name? Joe.
Joe Rogan.
Yes,
You mean Joe Rogan? Yeah, right.
Rogan.
They love Joe Rogan. They live and die
India
for Joe
Reed, the
Rogan.
artist India Reed, made a statement
Yeah.
that she didn't want to deal with Spotify because Joe Rogan, she put a couple of episodes up of how he was calling black people gorillas and monkeys. Well, where was
I
that?
haven't seen that clip yet. I really don't watch the Joe Rogan Experience. Like,
I mean, I don't either, but I saw something with India
but yeah,
Reed.
it's the highest. It's still probably the number one podcast on Spotify.
More than likely, yeah. There was a small outrage, but he did a little PR movement here and there, and then it was kind of forgotten.
Joe Rogan is also, if nobody remembers this but me, because I was a sicko 90s child that was staying up way past my bedtime. Anyone remember a show on Comedy Central called The Man Show?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
Okay, so boom, you're a sicko as well.
Jimmy Kimmel and
It's if it played today, it's literally the most chauvinistic, misogynistic show you could ever watch. It's 100% sex. It's literally the show opens with girls in bikinis jumping on trampolines.
Sound like what's that guy?
And when they run out of stuff to do, they literally just do that. All right, girls in bikinis jumping on trampolines. But the whole show was literally just about being a man, and it was the most sex crazed, the most perverted, the most.
Wait, that was his show?
It was him and Jimmy motherfucking not Fallon.
Jimmy Kimmel.
The
Kimmel.
other Jimmy Kimmel. It was Joe Rogan and Jimmy Kimmel. No, first it was Jimmy Kimmel.
Howard Stern. Yes, you go. Thank you, Aaron Hicks. I was thinking of Howard Stern.
Howard Stern is a wild boy too. That motherfucker Ben had prostitutes in his studio.
Oh yeah, it's my
Howard Stern
it's not been worse than a man.
dump on the floor on air just for ratings, and they let him rock. They will look.
Yes.
So you're a prostitute in Honolulu? You have a penis and a vagina. Can you show us? Can you show us? Okay, she's gonna show us.
Yeah, Howard Stern's way worse than
Oh,
man.
Howard Stern was. Oh my God, he was like.
Still rocking. I'm surprised. Like
Yes.
he's still old as fuck, and you know he got like a 22-year-old girlfriend.
I don't even think he does shows like that anymore, though. I think he finally calmed down just a bit.
Oh, he stopped them shows on television a long time ago. Well, he's
He
still
may not be
available.
saying shit on the air, but I know he just pop up at parties. Like, let me tell you something about N-words too.
He had a lot of controversial shows on. I remember we used to watch it on E Network when he used to come on late at night.
Jerry Springer too. I love Jerry Springer, but he not exempt. Like he really can just bring. So you're sleeping with your mother's son? Did she know about this? Did she know about this? Okay, so let's bring out the son. Let's bring out.
Yeah, Jerry was wow. Now he's a lawyer.
Lawyer, judge.
Oh
Springer.
no, I'm sorry, he's a judge.
A fake judge. He's not a real judge.
They just let you
That's
progress
Jerry,
like that.
listen, Jerry Springer show was hot in the 80s. Come on now, y'all know y'all was watching that. Jerry.
I was watching it, but damn, come on, man. That was the bottom of society for TV shows back then. Jerry Springer is what Love and Hip Hop is now.
Oh my God.
Yes, that was crazy. The fighting, you hear the bell, bing.
And they treat him with such prestige.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Okay, but let's get back on topic. Let's get back on topic of what we're talking about.
Then people.
Again, we're talking about the ADL, the protector of Jewish connotations. We're upset because of this Dave Chappelle jokes. Again, if we're going to come at a comedian for saying these things, what he said, you got to come at a comedian for everything.
You got to pick a comedian who cares.
You pick on fat people, you got to come at for them. Don't laugh. If you're going to pick at them when they come at handicapped people, don't laugh. They come at black people, don't laugh. They come at white people, don't laugh. Where does it stop? Don't be a hypocrite and say, oh, okay, well, you can't pick on these people. Then who can you pick on and why? Are you able to pick on these certain people? Because comedians all do it. They pick on everybody, including themselves. Who can you not pick on and why? Someone give me a good reason why somebody is exempt and someone else isn't.
And there's no good reason why. But you know what I noticed? You can do it if you are. It's almost like the N-word with them. Because you know a show that is also on Comedy Central that I love and was also a dirty ass 90s kid grew up watching? South Park. And one of South Park's most famous characters is Eric Cartman. And Eric Cartman is the most racist piece of shit character ever created. He hates black people, he hates Asian people, he hates hippies, but more than anything, he hates Jews. There was an episode where he literally, after seeing The Passion of the Christ, decided to dress up as Adolf the Hitler, the Führer himself, and relaunch the Holocaust on his friend Kyle, who is a Jewish. who is a Jewish. Oh man. Okay, there's that. He is a Jewish. But they can rock like that because one of the creators of South Park, one of them, Matt Stone or Trey Parker, don't know which, is Jewish. You get movies like 8 Crazy Nights from Adam Sandler because he is a Jewish. You know what I'm saying? You're allowed
I see the
to
argument for that though. I can see the argument for that because they're gonna say, well, it's our own doing it, just like black people saying the N-word. It's like, well, we can say it, but you guys can't say it. That's gonna be the argument.
But it's like if people, so that's what I'm saying. Like if we're going to, oh man, because again they control these networks, and you're telling me that you can say the N-word never gets bleeped out. Sometimes, like you know what I'm saying, there are very specific things that you should and should not do or say. Especially if you are trying to send a direct message about a group of people to another group of people. And if one group of people has that much control, they should practice better collaboration with the other groups of people that they allow comments to be said about. L'chaim.
I knew something was coming.
Would you think they just shouldn't say anything? It's like, okay, here's the argument for us. You don't want us to say the N word, maybe you shouldn't say it. So South Park, if you don't want us to say anything about anti-Semitic tropes, maybe you shouldn't say it either. You're normalizing it of anything. That's what they were trying to argue with Dave Chappelle. You're normalizing anti-Semitism by putting it in your jokes.
Because they don't like when people can profit off. Honestly, they don't want us to know it to get scary because it really gets down to them not wanting us to know too much, because what they're honestly fighting against is the idea that, how are you doing, ma'am? What they're honestly fighting
Hello,
against
Dr.
is the
Lamar
idea
Ray
that
Hey,
they're let's go ahead and get them introduced. Go ahead. Oh,
I'm sorry.
She's
I'm
leaving
so
us.
sorry. I'm running late. I'm sorry. I messed up your whole show.
no, you're good.
You're good.
Oh, I'm so sleepy.
In the house.
Look. Oh, Lord. I'm so sorry,
You
y'all.
tired?
I'm tired.
Hey, I know
Anybody with doctor in front of their name can interrupt, because you obviously have some you obviously have something of importance to say. Please.
Oh, no, I don't. Freezy know me. I'm just a regular old person. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm sitting up here, and I'm up here talking. People talking. I said, oh, God, I know I'm wrong with it, but good God. I done came up here talking about, and I had my, it's just been a nightmare. My captain fell off my tooth. I'm up here trying to put it back on. They're looking at me. I'm like, oh, Jesus. I'm sorry. Are we live?
Yeah, we live. We're very live right now.
100%.
We're in the middle of a conversation about Jewish people.
And furthermore,
And people, that's what we call them,
I don't know. Did you get to watch the SNL monologue by Dave
the
Chappelle?
dreidels.
Yeah, I got some stuff to say about Kanye, but I don't want to interrupt. I'm so sorry. I'm just a guest. I'm like that cousin coming.
No, I've been rambling. You go right ahead.
We were just the ADL Anti-Defamation League came against Dave Chappelle, and they did not like what he had to say during his monologue. And we were just saying, do you think Dave Chappelle went too far, or do you think it was no big deal, basically?
I hate to say it. I just don't think it was a big deal. I hate to say,
Ain't nothing wrong.
I just don't. Oh, Lord Jesus. I just don't think it was a big deal. Like, it's almost like they say you have freedom of speech, but it's like every little thing you say, like, what can you say? Because it's like, and then Dave Chappelle is, and I'm sorry, I mean to interrupt y'all.
No, go.
Like,
Go ahead. Yeah.
but it don't be short. It's like you have freedom of speech, but then you don't. It come with all these consequences, and then you want to cancel people. But I hate to say this because I just gotta say, and excuse me to y'all listening, excuse me y'all, but I'm always in these like different social media platforms. And I hate to say it, but it's always our people trying to damn cancel somebody, right? And it's like we're the ones who start canceling people, knowing, girl, I'm just a regular old person. Like we start canceling people, but we don't know why we canceling. We just canceling because so-and-so say cancel. Like, how do you cancel a person? Right? And then even with the Kanye thing, I know y'all ain't talking about that, but we kind of all right. With the
Yeah, you can get into that too, because it's connected kind of, because he was talking about Kanye and the Jews.
With the whole Kanye thing, it's like Kanye will say things like he'll give you little crumbs, but he don't complete it. So now all of a sudden everybody started building what they think he's talking about, right? And so I'm saying, okay, Kanye, where you going with this? Because I hate to say it, but I'm like an activist for men, because I always think men don't always have people to talk to. So if I'm a little, right. So if I'm a little out there, I apologize. But they were saying that I heard on somebody's podcast last week, they were saying, well, I don't know if it's going to be a good day for Kanye and Kyrie. And then somebody else chimed in, well, you know, Chase, he had $1 billion in Chase, and they told him to take his money. I called in, because these are friends. I said, can I call him? He said, yeah, call him. We want to hear what you guys say. I said, you sure? Because, you know, I want to be cussed out tomorrow. I said, all right, cool. This is what we're going to go with this, right? Kanye didn't have $1 billion in Chase. He had 120 million around there in Chase Bank, okay? I said, but that was really payroll, because most millionaires and billionaires don't always have their money in banks. They have it in investment companies because they don't want all the fees and all the rules, right? I said, so if they give you money, what they're going to do, they're going to usually pay you in shares, stocks, right? And I said, here you go. Nobody said Kanye had no $1 billion in the bank, but you're running with that. But then you're supposed to be pro-black. And I said, and here's another thing. Why is this new what Kanye's saying about these Jewish people? Michael Jackson said it in the song, They Don't Care About Us. Said,
Don't say it though. Don't say it.
Lord. Okay, Lord, go ahead.
Oh no, I just had to. I love Michael Jackson. I'm a really big fan. You've been mentioning Michael Jackson a lot.
Yeah, and I said, and then on top of that, when Prince said, Prince, formerly known as the artist, the reason why he was saying it because he wanted to get out the contracts, but on the contracts, it had his name, probably Nelson, whatever his name, his real name, Nelson, but I forget the last name.
Roger.
Right. But then, so that you don't have to repeat his name throughout the document, it'll say the artist. At the beginning, it's called the recitals, right? So when he split, I think it was Sony, they let Prince Nelson Roger, I think, right, go, yeah. Right? But when they separated, you still got music going and you still got residuals. So when he broke the contract, same as Kanye, they said, well, we're breaking the contract with Kanye West. But the contract didn't say Kanye West. Kanye changed his name. And so we got to think about intellectual property. You got to think about trademark. You got to think about branding. There's so many things that come with that contract. So one thing I can say that Kanye, I'm not like happy about is because they were partners when it came to his designs. Kanye is a designer. We got to remember that guy, Virgil, whatever, he worked under Kanye. That was Kanye's mentee. Okay. So it was his branding. Now I'm saying, well, how many people were black people buying Gap before Kanye came? And then when they said, well, he's no longer going to be a billionaire. Well, come on, let's think about that, right? So in 24 hours, you don't count his bank account. He no longer a billionaire. People are like, oh yeah, he don't have $1 billion. You don't have $1 billion in liquid cash. They're talking about his assets.
Yeah, cool.
It was impossible for them to say that man is no longer a billionaire in even a week because the stores have already forecasted in July and they still haven't closed their books. Hence is why you have Black Friday and you have Cyber Monday. It's not for you to get sales. It's so that they can close their books and get the last little bit of money that's going to be spent. You cannot tell that man he's not a billionaire in over a night. You can't tell that man that because you don't know that. Okay, look how you want to talk about his assets in a matter of a week. And then I hate to say it, but you know how sometimes we could be. You give us some information, like my mother said, excuse my language, we take the cow by the ass, we run with it. You can't tell that man he's not a billionaire in a week. Like, how you want to tell that man he's not a billionaire? You don't know what his financial situation like. And then also, I mean, think about it. How many black people before Kanye was wearing damn Balenciaga? I mean, come on.
Everybody in the room, I don't know.
If we think about with the Yeezys, okay, we're wearing Yeezys. They said, well, we're going to rebrand it now. And I said, well, that's crazy because, black folks, we want Yeezy. We don't want Adidas, formerly known as. So already with Adidas, they're crazy because they already gave him his check. And then on top of that, like, you're still buying Ye, but now you done rebranded it, so that's your loss. So hey, so now they got to take all that material and all that stuff, and now they got to take Kanye's name off it, which is going to cost more time and overtime for them people working them damn factories. So now they can put Adidas on there. People don't want Yeezy known now as Adidas. They want Yeezy. And that's stupid. And them daggone Kardashians is still wearing Yeezy. You know why? Because Kim, with her little slutty self, was up there
Slut.
and get $1 million deal with somebody. Kanye said, nah, don't do that. I'm going to give you 1% in Yeezy. That was $1 million. So she owns 1% still in Yeezy. Okay, she ain't gonna mess up her money. And even with that house they got, they were like, oh yeah, he crazy. He moved next to her. It ain't like our house where you right there. You talking about like 4 or 5 probably miles. And so that's the thing why I said black people, here you go again. Oh, he crazy. No, because we all know when you are single parents, you got shared custody and you got, what's the other one? Shared and joint, right? So his kids can stay in the same school district. He was like, the hell with it. I'm going to take my kids to school every day. I'm moving next door to you. But Kanye owns the land that Kim's house is on, and she owns the house, and he owns everything in the house. So she can't sell the house anyway. They're still joint partners. That's the thing how rich people do. Them rich people problems. They ain't worried about stuff like we doing. Kanye pick his kids up every day in a damn fire truck or whatever he wants to pick them up in. And here she is around here. Oh, yeah, Kanye's this, Kanye's that. No, Kanye is smart because that property that he done got that house on, Kanye done built 12 different, these things look like igloos for low-income housing. So guess what? Black people, we never not been able to go to Calabasas or ride through, but daggone, we're going to be living next to the damn Kardashian in one of them little igloos. Now, I don't know if they got a liquor store where they're going to sell Patron next to it or whatever. We'll figure out a way.
Where you going at with this rant? Where you going at with this?
Because I was about to say, like, because Kanye is, I do want to, he's not, I don't want to call him crazy anymore. I don't. But we're not going to speak, like, it's not the topic this week, but he definitely mentioned sacrificing his mother.
Yeah.
And there's,
God.
there's, so he may not, they may not be able to, here's the thing. They can tell him he's not a billionaire anymore because they did. And now he's not.
He
can't say that though. You know why?
He said it though.
Right.
Even Kanye said he's not a billionaire no more.
Well, he might have said, but I just don't right now. Okay, this is the thing why he
you got to be careful. You know, them people, they like children. And he was literally, remember a couple weeks ago, we was worried about his children ending up in the Hollywood prostitution brothel. Why is that not the main concern? Why are we worried more about his bank account and his billions and not that thing that he was making us worry about a couple months ago? Because that's serious to me. That's what it seems like they're trying to hide and cover up. Like there's much like those are rich people problems that he has. Definitely, very, very, very much so rich people problems. But
wait, what did Kanye say now? Cause see, I be rolling with him now, but he done got crazy. What he say?
Done got crazy.
I be trying to like nap.
He confirmed the ritualistic sacrifice to gain success. He confirmed.
He said, basically, I'm paraphrasing that he had to sacrifice his own mom basically for success. Then he went on and named Michael Jordan's father was sacrificed.
I heard that.
He named a couple other people like their people got sacrificed. Oh, Bill Cosby's son got sacrificed.
Yep.
Like I don't understand why that would be because Bill Cosby was.
He mentioned Jay-Z, like he confirmed a lot of things that we as regular people have been suspecting just in our conspiracy bubbles for years, and
basically saying he cannot be silenced. Like those people can be silenced, but I can't. You won't silence me.
Oh
and they're trying. The best way to silence someone is to take away their resources. His resources was the money, and as soon as when he had that billion, he would not shut the fuck up about it. I'm 11 billion deep, 11 billion, and now it's like.
But to me, I don't think if you can get your $1 billion taken in a week, then you ain't never have $1 billion.
Exactly. Just like you explained
Good
it
answer.
already. You just said like it's all tied up. It's investments. It's liquidated.
tied up.
It's not a physical 1 billion.
No.
It's those contracts. It's
I
what
think-
they're telling you you have, what they're telling you you're worth, but it's all coming from them. You're still trying. Yeah, you're right. Black people were not wearing Balenciaga before Kanye West, but Balenciaga does not care about black people. Balenciaga did not. They used a black person to sell it to us. These things are more expensive than the black-owned businesses that we could be supporting, and they know that. They would rather us be slaves of their products than anyone else's. That's why Kanye West knew this. He was always yelling about not being accepted by the Gucci's. As he was yelling its way, who's gonna be the Medici family and stand up and let me create? He was begging for them to give him money. Give me those contracts. He signed with the Gap. You're right. The whitest place you could go to. And not even Jewish white, but like super conservative. We celebrate the 4th of July on July 1st through July 10th type of fucking white. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking Wonder Bread, Miracle Whip, no Hellman's in sight type white.
Yeah.
Eggshell.
And you know who I got a problem with too? We ain't talking about them, but they were cool. Okay, because remember, Kanye was Jay-Z's producer on a lot of records, right? Jay-Z, now I remember back in the day, we used to be hanging up there at the tunnel, okay?
Oh, you definitely did. You said the tunnel.
Sorry, and Jay-Z couldn't even sell himself. Okay, nobody.
Whoa! We not gonna act like Kanye West made Jay-Z.
No, I ain't saying that.
Let's go. Come on. Okay. I'm sorry to cut you off. My bad.
I'm just saying, Jay-Z couldn't even get anybody hardly right now. He had Fox. He had a couple right now. When Jay-Z started making that money, I hate to say it because I kind of saw when it happened. When he started making that money, right? See, first of all, I would have kept Damon Dash. Now Damon got it come out, but I like Damon. But when he started making that money, Jay-Z started getting away from the black folks. He was up there telling them, I'm going to have lunch with Warren Buffett and all of them. Then when they said, Jay-Z, you just nigga drug dealing nigga from Marcy Projects. Now you want to give us 444. You want to give us $1 million worth of information for $9.99. Yeah, I hear you, Jay, but don't forget that once upon a time, you was up there wearing mauve. You up there, sitting with Warren Buffett and all them. Let's just keep it real. You up here at the cap table because see, he ain't try to explain that. He was talking about capitalization. Now everybody started talking about all this stuff. But once upon a time, no, Jay-Z didn't want to be Bob. He didn't want.
You know better, you do better though.
Yeah, he up there now. He want to have that expensive Ace of Spades. Now I'm hearing people buying Ace of Spades. They got the same cheap ass grapes that Ciroc and all them have. They just don't.
But see, what are we doing here? We're literally just turning to bash Jay-Z's products instead of like, because on some real shit. I've owned a pair of S. Carters. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've owned a pair of S. Carters and I've owned a pair of Rock Nation Johns, the high top ones. Gray. They were suede. It was 12th grade. I was clean. I worked 2 weeks at Monkey Joe's Solid to get those shoes. They was nice on my feet. And they was affordable. I could afford them. They were only like maybe $110 at the most from a shoe from Jay-Z. Yes, Mr. Capitalist, Mr. You know what I'm saying? Money, cash, hoes. Which, if you notice, but those are two of those are the same thing.
Yeah,
two of those are the same fucking thing. Money and cash.
It was a hit. Let it go.
But it was it.
But what I'm saying is when you start getting up there, when you start, like for instance.
But before you get to it, I wanted to say something about your point about Dame Dash. You're right. Dame Dash should have stayed. Jay-Z did choose money over his friendship with Dame Dash. He fucked Dame over. And guess what? Kanye went with Jay-Z.
Right. That's what I'm saying. When it comes
if Kanye had $1 billion, how come he ain't put $1 billion in Dame's pocket
for
his success? We're always trying to give people success off of the back of Kanye West.
Right.
But Dame Dash is directly responsible for Kanye West's success. So how come when Kanye was out here yelling $1 billion this, $1 billion that, How come Dame Dash wasn't included on any of these? How come you didn't invest $1 billion into Dame Dash's clothing line?
What I'm saying is that was your friend. Y'all used to do business based on handshakes. That was your boy. Don't let money interfere with your friendship. That's your friend. That's the one who was grinding with you when nobody wanted you. That's your friend. Stop worrying. That's the whole point I was making. I'm sorry, I'm going.
But they also had bad business dealings when they were on Rockefeller together too, and that's the reason why they ended up splitting up towards the end. I mean,
Jay-Z definitely chose money over his friend. He definitely did that.
Money. Yeah, he chose money. You know, and then I hope I'm wrong, but you know, him and Beyonce, but both of them are, I guess, at the top of their, you know.
But people change. That's the thing. Alhamdulillah, the spiritual shit really worked. That's what he said on that same album, 444. That is a classic Jay-Z album.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I love that album. I mean,
I fucking love it. It's mature Jay-Z.
I love that.
He did early in his life. That was
like there is $1 million worth of game for $9.99. You want to know how
basically if you
how all the Jewish people own all the capital in the world? Like he said it right there on the album. He was telling us how Jewish people own everything. Credit.
Yeah. You know, but you know what though too?
And they were mad about that.
You don't get the lines that they get either. We don't get the line of credits that they get.
We don't. We have to. That's what we have to build, though. Again, like people. I've been saying this. People really want to vote for Trump again, and I honestly feel like it's because they feel like he's going to give them money again. You didn't take that money and build your credit. You didn't take that money and invest in things properly. Like when y'all was out here with the LLCs, y'all got racks on racks on racks, Maybachs on racks on backs, on blacks on blacks on blacks, but y'all got all that and you didn't actually build the fucking businesses.
You're right. You know, I was so mad. I'm seeing you're right. We got all this money. What we go buy? 20 more cars, all these chains and stuff. Now, when Amazon,
I saw somebody say they was gonna buy a chain with with money that Biden might give them, and I know the CIA was sitting on the internet like, hey, look, these niggas stupid.
That's why I said you can't get mad at Jay-Z for just moving on.
No, I wouldn't get mad. I'm like, shoot, you saw an opportunity and you took it. I just got off with somebody. We explained the podcast and all this. Like, if you give me some information, I'm gonna take it. But I'm saying, like, look, now Amazon was like $2,000 or $3,000 a share. When they got that money from the government, I don't care if it's PPP, I don't care if you got more food stamps, EBT, whatever, right? You should have went out there and bought a share because now it has gone down. They split. It's $140 now a share. Go and buy some shares so that you can, your kids and your generational.
Leave the NFTs alone.
I like Amazon stock.
I mean, no, the stock is fine, but then
Oh no, I wouldn't buy. I don't do them EFTs.
Y'all know who I'm talking about, or they know who I'm talking to. The people that pop up in your inbox talking about, I'm with the federal relief program. No, I just need your Cash App to put $1,500. What would you do if I put $1,500 in your Cash App right now? Like,
I had my classmate try to get me. I said, "Girl, please,
yo, I'm about to report your account for being hacked."
Yeah,
she tried to get you, Dr. Lamar.
He tried to get me to I'm gonna give you $5,000. I said, "Girl, you was just begging for $20 last week. Like, are you for real?"
Right.
Where the hell you get $5,000 from?
Let's get back on to
Cameras on blast now.
Scammers are getting
Scammers, everybody.
Let's get back on topic.
FBI and Homeland Security, and then
y'all hear me?
Yeah, we gotta go.
We got you. We got you, big.
All right, let's get back on topic.
I'm sorry. Oh my God.
Here's the major issue here, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, Kanye West, Dave Chappelle, Kyrie Irving. Here's my major issue with all three of them. Say whatever you want to say, but knowing there is consequences of what you say. See, there's a reason why you cannot be an entertainer, a civil rights activist at the same point. There's a reason why Martin Luther King was not insanely rich. There's a reason why Malcolm X pretty much died penniless and poor. Because you're going to have to learn that one of those things are going to not make you a lot of money because you're going to have a lot of people going up against you. they're not going to be willing to pay you. See, this is what Kanye West and Kaepernick learned. This is what Kyrie Irving is learning. He says with so much, and then he said something about the wrong group of people,
Oh Lord.
and they took
He
away
didn't
his
even
money.
say
You can't do
anything.
both. Hold on, you can't do both. You're gonna have to pick a struggle, and there's nothing wrong with making your money. Use your money to help bring other people up if you can. You know, remember when Malcolm X came out? Spike Lee did not have enough funding to make that movie in full. He had to have Oprah help him out. He had to have Michael Jordan help him out. They were insanely rich in the 90s by their standards, and that movie got made. Now, if they had spoke on some things like people are speaking on today and had that money taken away, they couldn't help Spike Lee. That movie, Malcolm X, would have never gotten made. There's other ways to support the movement by just using lip service. And I'm saying you got to pick a struggle. You can't be both. Pick which one you want to do. You cannot be Malcolm X and also be Oprah Winfrey at the same time. Nick Cannon learned the hard way. He tried to be both. And what happened to him? He lost Wild 'N Out, finally got it back, but he had to bow down, and then he had to make some concessions, and then he had to ask for forgiveness to get his show back. You can't be both. So pick a struggle. You can't be an entertainer and also be someone who fights for everybody's rights and stuff. Pick a struggle. If you can do that, have no problem. But don't try to pick both. Can't serve both gods or two gods, however you want to say
Thou
it.
shalt not have any
Let me
God
just ask
before
you a
me.
question.
Right.
You think Kyrie is going to be able to play again? Because now they have extended the
With a
suspension.
leash. Yeah, with a leash on his neck.
He doesn't need to play again. Honestly, he needs to and it sucks to say this because you know what? He was probably a little boy who grew up wanting to do nothing more than just play basketball at the highest level he could. The game that he loved. Just something he is one of those rare people that is literally getting paid to do something that he loves. And the people that can't do it, but found a way to make money off of it or found a way to exploit it, are making him pay for just being an individual. Just like because he said nothing. All he did was retweet something. And yes, he should retire because knowing what you know now about how they feel about you having an individual thought, can you even go back and play the game with the same mind frame? Like, do you even have the same love for it? Like
I don't think he
those
wants to
people are
play
still
anyway.
involved unless those people get removed.
He barely
Unless we
plays
go
back.
back to the days of the ABA, and that's where all the black people go, because that's when he's there. But we're not, because when you have the NBA's biggest stars like LeBron James, publicly making it known that they think what he said was a bad decision.
Why do you
What I'm
think so
saying?
many people in the NBA are silent? Because they don't want that money messed up.
That money.
They don't want to lose their lawyer. They don't want to lose their agent. They don't want to lose their
The
contract.
lawyer agent may
That
be
money.
of that certain race of people. So
Them
they don't
people.
want to lose that. But they
Majority.
understand the difference. See, I don't blame anybody. I don't blame Shaq for being quiet. I don't blame the rest of the NBA for being quiet. You got to pick a
Shaq a whole
struggle.
ass nigga.
You can't do both and expect to be immensely rich. You
Yeah,
can't.
I remember when Shaq said some racist shit to Yao Ming back in the day. Like y'all remember this? Because when Yao Ming was first coming into the league, you know what I'm saying, everyone was like, "Oh shit, he's taller than Shaq. How's Shaq gonna react?" Bars. And Shaq challenged him to an old school kung fu master showdown, and he did it in a real kung fu. Like, I will defeat you.
I remember that.
Meet me on Thursday
Uh-uh.
the Staples Center. You will be mine.
I remember that.
But y'all don't remember, like it wasn't meant to be racist because Yao Ming is you know what I'm saying, a Yamasian, you know what I'm saying, like he's because y'all remember Shaq Fu, the video game in the 90s. Shaq loved Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Like, that was my shit. Like he really liked Kung Fu culture, like Wu-Tang Clan. You know what I'm saying? It's not racist, it's just like we fuck with the culture. So he thought he was doing something, he thought it was a fun joke. But they was like, nope, that's racist. Nope, we don't like it, Shaq. Hell no. Fuck you. Put on a dress.
Let me
Put on a dress.
Michelle Leach, she's saying nobody's talking about the people who actually made the movie. Let me go a step further, Michelle.
Damn,
Do you
couldn't
think
see.
it makes sense to not go
Anybody get
after the person who carries the movie, Amazon. Do you think that makes sense with not going after them for carrying?
Joffrey's or
Because they're talking about Kyrie Irving posting a link from a movie that was on Amazon. But why is nobody saying anything about Amazon?
boom. And it's like, I love Amazon Prime because that's where I watch The Boys. And I've literally seen rape, I've seen racism, I've seen black people be brutalized in the most horrific ways imaginable. Like we literally get shoved, we literally have black trauma shoved down our throats as a form of media entertainment.
Yeah.
If we ever talk about Wakanda Forever, I've got some stuff to say. I digress though.
Oh,
We have to watch ourselves. We get to see ourselves depicted as slaves, depicted in such brutal fashions. We don't get to see things about our actual history. Like, no, notice how they like again, they demonize the movie like The Woman King that tells the history of an actual African group of women. And oh well, this shouldn't be released because because they were involved in the slave trade. It's like we make movies about the British, the Portuguese, the Spanish, like all these. We make movies about other cultures that were involved in the slave trade. So why the fuck can we not make a movie about Africans who happen to be involved in it, but also slaughtered, murdered, killed, protected their people from the Portuguese, the British, the Spanish that were predominantly involved in the slave trade? How come that's a bad thing?
Right.
tell the
You're
truth.
right.
Because we need to tell the truth. That's why.
Tell the truth.
All of us need to tell the truth. Because when one person doesn't, don't mean we have to do the wrong thing too.
Lord Trent, you frozen.
I
Like
know.
I thought I was frozen at a second. Was it?
the mannequin challenge again.
Yeah, we could hear you.
Hey,
So
hey, I fuck with Ray Sherman. I love it.
just couldn't see you move.
That girl is a real clown.
Yeah, right. It's like
So in the end, and Dave Chappelle is to me is an anomaly because, and maybe it's because of profession, because Dave Chappelle is not owned by a corporation. Kanye West works under a corporation. Kyrie Irving works under a corporation. Kaepernick worked under a corporation. A comedian can just go anywhere and sell out. Like
Dave
Floyd
Chappelle is
Mayweather is not owned by a corporation.
like you got to hear the stories about Dave Chappelle. He could literally, but like he walked away from $50 million famously with Comedy Central, and famously went to Africa. And when he came back, you know, nobody he was listed or blackballed, whatever they call it. And he couldn't get a studio to work with him. He couldn't go back to Comedy Central. He talks about this. He says, "I literally had to watch Carlos Mencia, Key and Peele do my show pretty much. Daniel, like, yeah, I pretty much had to watch Comedy Central try to recreate my show with Mexican guy, with two half black guys. So it's almost like one full black guy. Like, and the only way he was able to really get back what was his was to just go places with a microphone. Like the most ancient and purest thing you could do. He would just go places with a microphone, start talking, just sit down, smoke a cigarette, light up a joint. He would just start speaking, and people would just come up. You know what I'm saying? And some people would throw money down. You know what I'm saying? It would be like back in it, like being an old musician or a traveling kind of a hobo, and just setting up shop and
That's
telling.
about as free as you can be.
Yeah, but didn't
My point, what I was saying was,
though?
since Chappelle is not owned by these things, this is why he's able to say the things he's able to say. So I would advise everyone else, don't do what Chappelle says, because he is in the career field where it is smiled upon to be able to say whatever you want to say off your mind, as long as it's funny. Everyone else is not in there. So unless you're gonna be a civil rights leader or a comedian, you can be canceled, or you can have your money taken away. If money is the most important thing, if it's not the most important thing, do those other professions. Other than that, I would say stay away from it, because you can't do both. You can't. You got to pick a side. Dick Gregory, comedian, activist, but he wasn't insanely rich either. He had probably the finest balance of anybody I probably could have seen that does both, but he wasn't on the level of Chappelle rich or Nick Cannon rich or like I said, Kanye rich. So you're gonna have to pick a stroke. So I had to say about that. Pick a stroke. I don't have a problem if you want to make your money, but you can't do both. You can't name me one person that came out of the street. You can't name somebody who was immensely rich from the 60s and 70s who was in the civil rights era. Unless they're funded by a corporate. Maybe Minister Farrakhan, maybe. I don't know how rich he is. I'm sure he has a lot of funding behind him. With that being said, let's move to the next subject. Before we do that, let's play an ad and then we'll get into the next subject for tonight.
Hey everybody, this is Preezy. Check out my website at www.
All right.
Okay.
I
see you.
Thank you, Big Red. I appreciate that.
Was that you? Oh, that was Breezy.
That was a word from our
That's
sponsors.
her. One wrong way. That was her.
That's my
I'm about to call that number right now.
Call me, Cal.
Call now.
Yes, thank you, Big Red. Appreciate that shout out.
All right. So, a little bit more somber note. We're going to talk about the story about Shanquella Robinson, the girl out of Charlotte, North Carolina, 25 years old, and went on a trip with some supposed friends to Cabo, Mexico, and was supposed to celebrate someone's birthday there. And her friends came back to North Carolina and without Shanquella Robinson. And one of the friends told the mother that she had passed from alcohol poisoning. They actually had talked to her on the phone when they were in Mexico and saying that she was passed out from having too much alcohol and that she didn't make it from the alcohol poisoning. And then an autopsy report came back and said she had, her spine was cracked, her neck was broken, her lips was split, which sounds like she was attacked. And then a video came out, which I won't play. Video came out showing someone who was supposed to be an alleged friend attacking her, beating her while she was defenseless, pretty much. And people in the background recording, just looking like they didn't even know her. Like it was people in the street, but it was people that she went to go hang out with. And now it's a sad story because, like I said, she was only 25 years old and she passed away from these injuries. And now these parents are without a daughter. Let me play this small clip right quick and then we'll get back into it.
Well, Molly, that video you mentioned has now gone viral on social media. In fact, the feds have also told me they have their hands on that same exact video, which is why tonight we are outside the FBI. Now, Shanquella Robinson's family tells me that video is key to proving she did not die from alcohol poisoning, which is what they were originally told. But I do want to warn you tonight again. Shanquella's family wants you and investigators to see this video. It is very graphic.
We blurred some parts because right now we want to be clear. No one has been charged with any crime, but Shanquella's parents say it is her in the video. And the FBI in Charlotte tells WBTV the video has their attention. Quote, the video was referred to the FBI and we encourage anyone with related photos or video to contact the FBI. Shanquella's family also provided this, a copy of her death certificate. They say this document shows foul play. Severe spinal cord injury was one of the causes of death listed.
And Molly, I do want to reiterate that video again that you just saw is the new information tonight that the FBI has their hands on it. Now, as far as information in general, it has been hard to get an answer. I did reach out to the Mexican consulate multiple times today, and finally late tonight I was told to contact
that. Yeah, what are y'all thoughts on this story coming out? Raz, you know a little bit about this story?
Yeah, I did some research on it. Honestly, you just need to watch who your friends are and know who to be around on certain trips and who not to be around. Obviously the girl already had an issue with her. No one has came out with any statements or anything. Even her friend Khalil, who was her best friend, like when I was reading on it, he was with the family every day ever since and talking to them every day. But since this video came out, he's gone completely silent and ghost. So that is enough evidence to let you know that he was in the room. I don't know if he was the one saying fight back or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's like you need to be weary of who your friends are, you know. And obviously the girl was very intoxicated when she was being attacked.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because she wasn't even defending herself, you know, and that should have let you know, like, she wasn't even trying to fight at the end of the day. So I hate to see story like this. I hate to see friends, so-called friends, you know, betray other friends and treat them, you know, like they just random people on the street. I mean, I wouldn't even do random people on the street like what they did to this girl. So yeah, I definitely want justice for her. Especially she being in Mexico, going on a trip, trying to relax and have fun. You know, 25. It's kind of getting ridiculous out here that even when you're amongst people that you're supposed to trust, that you can't even come back alive.
Yeah, that actually happened to my cousin, right? So she was going to college, she was going to St. Elizabeth. So her and these girls decided, she begged my cousin, please let me go, let me go. They went down to Virginia Beach, and what they did was, luckily it didn't tear her cornea, but they kicked beach sand in her eyes. And so now she's defenseless because, you know, sand scratches your eye. Right. So she's like swinging, and they beat her up now. She is probably 4'8", maybe like 85 pounds, very petite. Well, luckily someone called the police. So she's swinging, and then guess what? She hit the cops. So now she's in Virginia Beach. She ended up having to do 6 months and withdraw from school from that. And her life, I can honestly say, has never, ever, ever been the same, because she had to do 6 months in Virginia Beach for assault on an officer. The girls was never charged, and they had been going to school for like 3 years. And so, you know, you're thinking like, these are my friends. And you know, like when I tell you her life has never been the same. She said she saw assaults in jail, you know, like all kind of stuff. And my cousin, who is a deacon, not that that matters, but he was like, you know, the only thing I could do is pray for her. No visits, no nothing. He was like, because I told her not to go. But these are college kids. And these are, you know, the other kids have been by your house. They were like hanging out. You've met their parents. Mm-hmm. So, but you know, I kind of felt like my cousin should have supported their daughter a little bit more, even get her like a better lawyer. They were like, nope, I told her don't do it. But her life has never been the same since then.
That's fucked up. Condolences. I mean, that she's not going.
Yeah, she's gonna get through it.
You know, never has been the same, you know, because she was always like a very sheltered child. She doesn't know, like she lived in a bubble. And I used to tell him, I'd be like, look, you need to go take her to the hood or something, you know, so she can, you know, it's good to be book smart, but you need to take her to the hood so she can experience different things. You know what I mean? Nope. I was like, all right. And, you know, I'm not saying that it couldn't have happened in a different circumstance, but, you know, it's been like 5 years and she's still like, she just can't get over it.
She go to therapy?
You know what? Again, you know, some people, they just, you know, when it comes sometimes for our people, we don't believe in therapy. We'll just pray about it. We're going to go talk to the pastor. But the pastor,
you need therapy.
You need therapy. That's what I was telling you.
The pastor had a problem? Is that what you're saying?
Look, he needs therapy.
A whole nother situation.
A
whole nother situation.
You can't go to a pimp about somebody beating you up. He a pimp himself. Oh, I mean, that's a whole other. That's a whole other.
You're gonna be slapped in the name of the Lord.
No. I don't mean to digress. I'm sorry. And thank you for letting me come on here, because I just took like 15 minutes when I first came on. Y'all just let me talk. I went on this whole rant.
It's okay. That's what this is for. That's what this is for. I just really think that the amount of force that was applied to this young lady was very, like, I feel like multiple people had hands in this. And even though the video only shows one attacker, I definitely feel as though there were multiple, and they're just not, saying anything. And I don't know how many times I've been set up twice by so-called friends, and luckily I was able to, get out and survive that. But it's just sad that, as young Black women, you can't trust anybody. I mean, you can to a certain extent, but it's like you cannot trust anyone, especially when you're going on these trips to Mexico. I would think that, they done got caught up in the situation in Mexico, but it's your own people that is attacking you, and you can't even live your life, and then you have a friend that's going around your family members pretending to grieve you and be there for for your family, but then when the video comes out, he's silent. So yeah, Khalil, we need you to come on. We need some more answers, Khalil.
Some guy named Nas, he was trying to say that
Godson?
Oh no, not him, because I was wondering too. I got him. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, I'm about to say.
I'm not seeing Neil
Not
Mack.
the Escobar.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was like, we ain't playing them game. This guy who went, name was Nas, and he was showing his ticket, and so he was saying that he thought she was drunk and that she had passed out, and when the nurse told him to come in the room, she had a black eye, she had knot on her head. He said, but he thought that she had fallen, but it didn't make sense because then, bloggers, somebody else said that he assaulted, that they were in a relationship and that he assaulted her years early on. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear about that too?
I heard there was a girl that came out and said she got raped by him.
Yeah, that he raped her.
All word.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, that's all I have to say.
So what?
I mean, clearly she probably was intoxicated. I mean, she was intoxicated. She had injuries and stuff. So of course she was probably giving off the vibe of her being heavily intoxicated. She was dying.
A split lip ain't got nothing to do with being intoxicated, and a broken neck and spine and all that. So
because it's like if they had that kind of animosity, did they hold it the whole plane ride? Like
they should be able to tell. If that was her friend, he was just like, I'm sitting by her, making sure she doesn't pass out or die from alcohol poisoning.
How you even leave her?
The split lip.
They left her, and then they lied about the pretense in which she died.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
right.
It's confusing the fuck out of me. It's evil when you start really thinking about it. Like you went on a trip, like for that young lady, like for her to spend her last moments in the company of people that she thought were her friends, but now she's seeing are gonna be her killers. That's. And then they came back. It's almost like they made a murder pact or some shit. I can't wrap my head around what would if you have this much animosity towards someone to the point that you would fight them. One, why are you calling them your friend? To the point that y'all would plan a whole entire trip together and leave the country together. Like
they weren't friends.
Nope. Can I ask you guys a question? Because maybe So since this happened in Mexico, they died in Mexico, but this guy and them people are U.S. citizens. Can they still be charged for murder?
They should be brought back to Mexico.
Yes. If she died on their soil, the federales can extradite them back to Mexico, and they will be prosecuted under their laws.
Same way they can get somebody sold drugs.
They have to come and get them
back to America.
What I want,
but the U.S. has to kind of work that out.
Right.
Wow. They were saying that the charges are not, the charges and statutes or whatever, not the same in Mexico than Jersey. I don't know. That's what they
brought her all the way out there to beat up.
It was different.
And the maid found her.
Let me ask y'all this question here. And before I get into it, let me just say my thing. Where, me as an older gentleman and people are like, when you go to network with people and stuff like that, and like, why don't you just, make some friends and stuff like that? This is why I don't make friends like that, because a lot of times the friends you had when you grew up, you went through some sort of struggle with them. You know, that you learn their character along the way. You can't really learn somebody's character in a couple of days, or even sometimes a couple of years. So, and it's even harder for guys to make new friends when you get in your 30s and 40s. You're gonna stick around the people you know.
Word.
So it's not easy just to make friends out there, because there's a struggle factor that you need to go through. Like, that dude is gonna be there for me through thick and thin. I don't know how long this girl and the guys that were on this trip, I don't think she knew all the guys except for the one guy that claimed he was caring for her. I don't know how long she knew them, but there is a certain struggle factor you got to go through to know if people are really your friend. But my question I was going to ask you guys, this is your daughter before she goes on this trip. What advice would you give your daughter or your son who's about to go on a trip with some strangers, basically? What advice would you give them to know if these people are really your friends or not?
Let me say,
because I know most black homes, including mine, you didn't go spend the night at just random people's homes.
We ain't spending the night.
The parents. Oh, you didn't know the kid.
We ain't spending the night, period.
Right.
Nope.
But she's 25 years old. She's grown. What advice would you have given her? Some people.
I want to read something real quick. What I posted, and I say it over and over again, and I will say it again. Be careful of people and these 3 titles: friends, family, and associates. You will know who your friends are. Be observant of what they say in front of you and behind your back. Anytime you are jealous of someone, you're really mad at yourself. No one should be jealous of anyone. Find your truths, goals, and get things straightened out in your life. And guess what? That person will find out. There's always a snake in the circle. Pay attention. A dog that brings a bone also carries one back. Jealousy is real, and you will always see the signs. Family is not always family. Family sometimes is just family because of DNA, not because they care or love you. They tolerate you. Watch them too. Jealousy is real. The fakeness will show. Just pay attention. And associates will also show their true colors. Those are individuals who are just there to be needy or greedy. What happened to that young girl in Mexico was definitely a setup by her enemies, not her friends. Be careful. You never know who may be plotting against you. Stay focused. Keep those evil spirits away, no matter who they are. Remember, Satan the devil was once a beautiful angel in heaven, but jealousy made him evil and ugly. So I would tell my daughter that don't think everybody is your friend, because your friends will show their loyalty. It's all about loyalty. And first of all, I would hope that I would probably tell her, don't drink. Go have a good time. Drink some ginger ale, drink water. Don't drink. Don't go out into these, and I know it may look good and stuff, but maybe I would show her an example of what goes on and what people really do. There's no loyalty today, and it's really sad. And women, I'm not saying men don't do it, but women are extremely jealous of each other. They fake it, and they smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. That song is real. They didn't make that song for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You really got to know who was in your circle, and believe it or not, you got to watch your circle. It is, because people, we don't if you got one friend that's doing good, and this young lady was doing good. I think she was doing children's hair. So she was making money. She had a great career. They were jealous.
Yeah. I tell my daughter that too. Tam said it. I always tell, even now, my daughter go out, it's like 3 or 4 of them. I'd be like, look, don't turn your back. Don't leave your drink. Even if you say I'm gonna have my friend watch my drinks or whatever, don't listen to that, because they can get distracted. So I always tell her, if you have a drink there, or whatever. And she's 14, so she don't like, drink. But I'd be like, I don't trust none of these kids.
Right.
Even if you turn your back, when you turn, I'm weird about it. I'll be like, you got a little something there, put a napkin on it and have that straw holder, and you turn with the drink.
Right.
Don't even.
If you put that drink down, if you walk away, that drink is garbage.
It's gone. It's gone. Throw it away.
That drink out. It's a wrap. You walk away from it, it's gone.
Leave it. And don't be getting drunk. Like you can't even drink a couple of things, because this has happened to me. You're having a good time. You're sitting down. Hennessy used to be my drink. You're sitting down, you're drinking. You're like, oh, I'm good. As soon as you stand up and it hits you, you're in a whole different place. That's happened to me. Luckily, things are a little different now. But you just can't trust people. It's going to be hard for me. I'm going to be honest, because my daughter is totally oblivious when it comes to stuff. She's like, Mom, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, okay. She's like, you don't know. I said, girl, she don't understand. I'm sure y'all know it. I said, you don't understand. When I say we used to hang in these clubs and they used to be packed, I said, everybody I know them got robbed in the tunnel in these shadows and stuff. I said, you don't understand. Like, y'all just don't. The kids don't understand.
No, they don't take stuff serious. They really don't.
And
you never lived the life before. You were just born yesterday, apparently. All parents were born yesterday.
I'm like,
this was a real sad case. This was
Raz, what would you tell your son? If he was going out on a trip, I'd say he's 25 years old, same situation with people who are not really his friends. Maybe got one friend on there. What would you tell him for him to stay safe?
I would say get his own quarters, get his own little Airbnb, his own little spot. And like they're saying, don't get too intoxicated. Always be aware of your surroundings and your people, and I always teach my son that, he peeping the fake shit off rip. Like, people will show you who they are initially, but then you really, really get to know who they are when you get in the gist of it. So they will reveal themselves to you. So, like I said, it was some hidden beef going on, and she probably thought they squashed it, but obviously not, but I would just say, you don't have to get intoxicated, and shoot, my son gonna protect himself. I'm not saying like the young lady, like obviously she was going through some stuff where she was intoxicated and she couldn't protect herself, and she really didn't want to fight. But he's going to protect himself by any means necessary.
Yeah.
So, and I'm gonna tell him, I'm like, that ain't your little friend, because I thought my mom was crazy. I slicked thought my mom was a hater. When I was a kid. I'm like, why you always saying my friends are my friends? But, listen to your parents when they say that is not your friend, and, I know that I'm not going to meet all of his friends, but I will hope that the relationship that I'm going to have with him growing up, that he can feel comfortable enough with bringing his friends around me, so I can kind of like let him know who his friend is.
Can I just add one thing, especially when you go away on these vacations? But make sure that you always, have like your passport and your flights, your airline ticket, whatever. I can't think of any. Have it on you, because a lot of times when we go away, we think the safes are safe. But it has been proven that they can actually get that, not the people that you're with necessarily, they could, but like even the hotel staff and the B&B staff, they can get into those safes. So just make sure that that you keep even your important papers either on you, but a lot of times we go swimming, so keep it in like a Ziploc or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, I went away with, when I first went out of the country with my friends, and they was like, girl, we're gonna all put our passports in there. I said, I don't know y'all hoes like that. I'm leaving my stuff.
I don't know you hoes.
Right. Because if you ain't got your passport, you ain't coming back. Okay.
Hashtag I don't know you, host.
I don't know y'all like that. I mean, no offense, we still friends. We're 20 years in, but I still tell them, your daughter spend
I
like
have cocaine in that bag.
Yeah, like girl, you know, black people don't spend no night. No.
Oh, and I want to add something too. You know, I would just be like, keep your groups small. You know, like you don't have to go on groups of 4 or 5 or whatever. You know, like honestly, 2 or 3 is, you know, enough. It limits the amount of really alcohol intake, because if it's only a small group, you know, one of y'all got to be aware, if not both of y'all. So, you know, limit the amount of people that you take on those trips too.
Just like Kanika Jenkins thing.
What's up with that?
R.I.P. Kanika.
Oh, let's see. Was that in Chicago?
You know, Kanika, when she was found in the freezer.
Yeah,
she was
okay.
she went to that party.
Like
from Chicago.
Oh, that was bad too.
Freezer?
Yeah, she was found in the freezer downstairs, but it was supposed to be unplugged. Somebody plugged it up.
Yeah, that was a weird story though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Very weird story.
But
Like,
she, you know, they said she was with her friends and she was drinking too. You know, it's like you can't even, don't be drinking so you can be
drinking.
Don't trust people more than you trust yourself. Like don't
Right.
travel with people that you don't even feel like would be honest with your parents about what happened to you. Like that's
Right.
that would be the wisdom, the advice I would give to my child. If you don't trust these people to actually protect you, like if you don't trust them enough to protect you, don't travel with them.
right.
You need to trust yourself more than anyone else, you know, because you can't even depend. Well, I'm going on this trip. I'm not so cool with person A, but me and person B is really cool. So I feel okay. No, don't even trust person B like that. Because if
Nope.
you're not that cool with person A and they've been hanging out with person B and you're not like, you need to trust yourself more than anyone else you call a friend, because in your last moments, it may very well be these people that are the bringers of your demise. Again, I don't know exactly what, like I would want to know, like honestly, before my child would leave the country, I need to know who you're going with. I need to know the exact,
Yes.
honestly, show me the message, like show me the text thread. I need to know, especially if you're my child. I want to be able to contact this person, because I mean, I don't know what their situation is with their parents. So if something happens to my child, I know my child is with you. I need to be able to contact you. I need to be able to contact your parents. Like I need to be able to, we need a string of, I need to know and be involved. I want to, even if my child is an adult, I want to know these kind of things. And that's just something that you have to start as a parent, you know, building the kind of relationship between you and your child where y'all talk about these things, where they want you involved, where, you know, they trust you. Saying if something were to, because that's a trust that a parent and child should always have. If something happens to you, you know, some people are very fortunate enough to have their parents to call if something were to happen
Right.
to them,
Right.
not their friends.
Right.
And if these aren't friends that you could call if something happens to you, don't go nowhere with them.
Right.
Yeah, and you know, when they get at that age, they're always trying to create a level of independence that they don't believe you believe in them. So they're going to try to do something without you being tethered, attached to them. But like LT said, it's important to have a sense of community to know what's going on. And I ain't even talking about just trips. I'm talking about just going on dates, going on
Yeah.
blind
I
dates.
want to meet
Hang out.
son
Living-
or daughter. I want
Yeah.
to meet the young ladies my son brings home. I
Right.
want to meet
Yeah, I
the
want
young
your
men my daughter
location.
brings home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
these
you know,
kids,
that
they
doesn't
think,
happen
oh,
anymore.
you
Where
me. Oh, mom, don't baby me. Don't worry about it.
I
But
don't want to
that's the
intimidate
point.
those young men either. You don't want to intimidate. Like we don't need to be the kind of parents that, you know, stay away from my daughter or trying to run these little fast girls away from me. So, like, no, meet them, and because we all know this time and time again. The more you emphasize to your children this is not a good person for you, the more attractive it makes them.
Yeah.
Like so you have to really start with
Mm.
making your child feel like, hey, I'm not questioning your judgment. I am not teenager. We've all been teenagers. Teenagers always feel under attack. They're always anxious. You don't get it. You just don't understand what love is. Yeah, you don't know. Go to my room. They're always.
Oh, you really?
First of all, that is a whole white person. So
Yeah, right. Get out of my room.
no, I wish I would tell my mom to get out. First of all, I didn't even have doors. Okay.
Me either.
Damn. I'm privileged as fuck. I had a door. I had a. I'm sorry.
No.
I feel like
curtains was on my door.
Banks.
Shoot.
Okay.
Off.
Them doors came off, and I slammed the door one time.
Yeah.
Took all.
And it was off.
I slammed a couple doors on my mom. I'm not gonna lie. I slammed a couple doors.
Nah, I ain't never do that.
I mean, I learned because I was still afraid of my dad, and he worked out of state, but he was still able to call the house. So what's this I hear about you slamming doors in my goddamn house?
Mm-hmm.
You know I'll hop on a plane. You know I'll hop on a plane with my
you
girl,
up.
right?
Well, I think it's the type of relationship that, because I think that the old age, parents were more like they didn't really understand their children and stuff like that. But this new age parenting is just different. Like I won't say like I'm my son's friend. I always tell him I am your parent and your mom first, and I am your friend second, because I do want him to have that trust with me, and he can be honest with me. So I think that the new parents, and there are like, other parents that the kids trust them and stuff. But with the new age and with so much stuff going on, like our children cannot grow up, and it is sad. And so I think that they are seeing this and they are going to be more aware. And so I'm gonna call my mom, when it's something going on. And I am that parent. I'm sorry, when my son get old and stuff, I'm gonna run up on somebody and be like, "Don't play with mine, because I'm coming for you. I'm gonna come for you. You got a whole tribe behind this, so don't do it."
Yeah, my daughter's like, "Mom, you're embarrassing me." I'm like, "Girl, please."
Right.
Yep. I'd rather for him. I know this sounds crazy. I'd rather for him to have at least 1 or 2 friends. I tell my son all the time. He's like, people don't want to be my friend. And I'm like, you don't got to be everybody's friend.
Most of y'all ain't got friends. Yeah, most people have gotten Facebook connections as everybody is friends. I got 1,000 friends. That word has been so watered down over years. Most of y'all only got 2 good friends,
meaning?
if that.
Right.
Listen to Houdini.
Yep.
And in a certain situation, and you'll see. It's like I always said about people that said they got that one black friend. I say, but let the black friend's son sleep with the white friend's daughter, and then all of a sudden you'll see who their friends is after that.
Oh yeah, all hell is gonna break loose.
It all depends on the situation you put in a lot of times to see what your friends are.
Yeah.
When politics gets in the way, children get in the way, a bunch of different things get in the way. All of a sudden, friendship is dissolved. So that's why, and a lot of times, if you find that out about your friend, that's usually later in life, which is why I said learning early who your real friends are, going through certain things helps that out. So it's hard to get new friends. So I love that Drake song, No New Friends. It's hard to get new friends later in life because you don't get the experience. And I'm talking about somebody in their 30s and 40s saying that, let alone somebody who's 25 years old. And I'm not blaming her or nothing like that. I don't want to cast any blame on her. I'm just saying,
you really know. You know what I'm saying? People are really good at
who your friends are until you go through certain things. And she might have had that one dude might have been her good friend.
He was a great friend. They knew each other for a long time. Okay.
Allow her to get beat up like that. That's not no friend.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, can we say he's a great friend if this is what we know about him?
Come on, that wasn't
the one who
or something. He played very well. He was a sheep in wolf's clothing.
Word, like great friends don't let that happen. Like,
I'm just saying, like, I ain't saying he a great friend. I'm just saying, like, they were supposed to be like,
that's what I'm
ride or die.
Like, there's something missing because
that's what she thought, and that's sad that people that you can hang around and be with would turn on you like that. What he's filming saying, at least fight her back.
At least fight her back.
Yeah, like you want to see aggression, you want to see like drama, you want to see brutality. For what? Why do you like this? These are your friends. These are your friends.
She had to die knowing that her friend, that's who she thought was a friend, let her down. That's what's sad.
Yep.
She trusted in someone else more than, because again, she might have had problems with the girl that she was fighting beforehand, but it was probably that friend that made her feel like, oh, girl, don't worry about it. It's because I'm sorry to I'm sorry to offend the alphabet folks, but that's probably the voice he had to make her feel reassured. Girl, don't even worry about it. It's fine. It's water under the bridge. Don't even. She ain't tripping off that. She was probably tripping off that. He probably went back to her. It's like, ooh, I got her, bitch.
Y'all might as well just fight her.
She gonna come. Oh, she said she gonna pay for the hotel room too. So you know what? They was probably dumb enough to think that if they did it out of the country, that they wouldn't be tried when they got back to America.
Yeah.
That's what the fuck I think.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest.
Because that's what people were saying. That's why I was asking. Well,
Yeah.
can we?
Yeah.
Mexico? Really? Y'all want to go to Mexico in November?
So I can't do no
Yeah.
group trip. You know what?
Was
Also
any of them
been a
part
good
Mexican?
thing, and it's missing from the equation for the people she's traveling with, except for that one guy, is a trustworthy male. In case something happens where these people, guys or girls, are trying to fight her, a trustworthy male, maybe an older adult, would have been nice to have
It was
it.
3 guys, right? Wasn't it
Yeah,
3 guys?
but a trustworthy one, I'm saying.
Like
You
3
didn't know
guys. I
them.
wanna
I'm
say
saying
2
somebody
other
she
girls
knows
besides the girl
that
she was
went on
fighting.
this
Yeah.
trip.
A
She
brother or something.
Yeah.
I wish somebody would put their hands on my friend.
But see,
I'm
that's
the
the thing.
fighter
A
of the
lot of
group.
people don't have a good family structure. A lot of people don't have
Max's.
siblings.
Right,
A lot of people
right.
Me
don't have
too.
that, and
What
they
about
lean into their
like
friend
we
group.
all fought?
Yeah, especially if I see my friend not really trying to fight, like, and then plus as an adult, I just feel as though as an adult, when are we going to get out of that? When can we just like sit down, have a conversation, say, girl, I don't know what it is, you pissed me off, you did something toward me, it made me mad, and I feel some type of way. How can we move forward? If not, then I ain't even got to deal with you. But why do we have to put our hands on people? I just don't get it. It does not resolve anything. In this case, somebody lost their life, and she had a great life ahead of her. So it's like, when can we grow the fuck up, use our words and not our hands? Because we teach kids to use their words and not their hands, but then when we become adults, it's more, I'm gonna use my hands and less words. It doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
We always feel like we
That's
ready for them.
beyond using their hands though, because well, I mean, we've all been in fights, but we know there's a limit to where we go till we kill the person. That is that's something deep in the spirit there to make somebody go that far to kill a human, to crack a spine. You know how hard it is to crack someone's spine?
Yes.
How far you would have to go to do
I
that?
think in the video she was kicking her, right?
She was she kicked her. I think she
I
punched her
haven't seen the
a couple
video.
times.
She kicked that thing. She was hitting her hard in the back of her head and her neck with
She
her,
threw it
and
down.
you can hear how hard she was hitting this young girl.
Oh my God.
And the simple fact is, we've been in fights and stuff like that. I'm not gonna fight somebody that don't want to fight me. I'm just not. If she doesn't want to, throw hands, then it is what it is. I mean, it's just.
But even when you've been in fights, Raz, there's a place where you stop. You're like, okay, you had enough of the beating. All right, I'm done. I proved my point. You gotta go.
I was just in a fight 3 months ago. Lost the whole nail. I thought I was gonna kill this girl.
Lost that nail.
But I stopped.
Go buy
No, I lost it.
But at what point?
No, I'm talking about I lost my real nail.
I know. I'm just saying, go buy another one.
You have to be much taller to break somebody's spine.
That's not. That was some serious.
Unless you throw them on a table or a chair or something like that, or hit them with a hard weapon.
Yeah, because check this. Like, what's the thought frame? Like, where's the forethought? Because are y'all after this fight? Like, let's say she lives after this fight, y'all gonna carry out the rest of the vacation? Or so I start thinking it's like, so did y'all really just set this whole thing? The animosity it took, like if you really wasn't cool with this girl, you set up a whole elaborate vacation scam to get her isolated from people that she actually trusts. So that y'all, it had to be a y'all thing, because they all, after this woman died, no one was a friend enough to say, damn, we killed her. We need to alert her family. Like they all just said, nope, let's collectively agree to lie about it and say that she just got too drunk and go back to our lives in the States and shit. Like, so there was animosity. It was premeditated. I feel like when everything comes out, when it's all said and done, we're gonna figure out it was premeditated. That we thought they were such good friends. They took all these pictures, and then the narrator's voice changes. But things were not as they seem.
Even if it was premeditated or not, this is what we keep speaking on when we were talking about, and I hate to bring him up because he has nothing to do with this at all, but it kind of does. Takeoff, when we talk about rappers and stuff, and we give tribute to them, to people or celebrities or anybody who dies, and we give tribute to them, but people we don't know, and we treat our own, the people we know, people we hang out with no respect whatsoever. We have no value of human life. That is gone out the window. We may be as violent as we were before, but at least we had more intention to stop killing people before it got too far. When you got in a fight, like I mentioned with Raz or anybody who's been in a fight, you know there was a stopping point. And like, okay, if I go any further, I might kill him and I might go to prison.
That was
the tragedy in this, on top of Shanquella Robinson being killed, and I think it was 5 people all involved in this together. We got 5 people going to prison, essentially. And their lives, although their soul is not, or spirit is not gone from their bodies, they are gone from being productive members of society.
I think it was 6.
They're gonna produce for society, but in a chain.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Was the beatdown worth losing your entire life?
Again, they probably thought it would be water under the bridge. Bitch, that happened in Mexico. They can't try us for that.
Really
that happened in a whole other country.
I don't know what they're doing, but they cannot let this go.
Not when you take the time to record it, y'all idiots.
Now, my thing is this. This is another thing. Who posted the video?
I don't know. What I'm saying. Like, y'all take the time to record it. Like, y'all.
You're recording someone being beaten. What? Who posted that?
That's not your friend.
They probably put it in a group, and somebody from that group probably.
Yes,
you know.
Somebody else. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They do anything.
Like it's a joke. You're beating the girl to death. Oh man, this world.
And most of the time, they probably posted it before she even like died, collapsed, or anything, and they didn't.
You know what? They
didn't think she was going to die.
Right.
They probably thought that it probably got posted under a fake account, under a burner account. They probably didn't say, like, put her name in it or some shit. They probably just sent it. They probably wanted to send it off to like World Star or send it off to one of them little one of them accounts that just like produce fight videos and shit. And people probably saw, oh shit, hold up.
This is her.
I recognize her. That's the girl that they said was found dead. Oh shit. Oh, like they probably tried to disguise the way they hit it. But yeah, someone from the group definitely uploaded it, seeking some form of attention, seeking some form of clout, seeking something. Because they just like, we're addicted to that in this era. It's like y'all didn't want to call nobody and say, hey, we beat this girl to death, but you wanted to share a video of this girl being beat damn near to death.
Right. And then she died because as a result of her injuries. And then they're like, damn, it's on the internet and it's incriminating now.
So now they all hiding.
Stupid.
I feel like they knew she died before they posted the video, but they probably had a group chat and talked about it. Y'all, I know she dead and all, but this
the mother
video
said
could
they
really
all had
blow up.
different stories. They shipped, the way they found out is they brought her body back. They said it cost the family $6,000 to get her body back and do an autopsy. And when they talked to the kids, they all had different stories. Each and every one of them had different stories.
Well, lock them all up. Somebody will tell.
Yes.
Somebody.
Oh yeah.
They got less time.
It's going to be more videos coming out because that's not the whole video.
Yeah, I already heard there was a video supposed to be coming out today that shows maybe another attack or the continuation of the same attack.
Yeah, she was attacked. She was either attacked several times and certain. I don't know, because it takes a lot of force to break someone's spine.
Okay. You really gotta be trying to stone cold stun them. before we
I
do
tell
shit.
my daughter.
Yeah,
You
I think
commit
one
a
of them
crime,
guys
I'm calling the
participated in that
cops.
too. I don't think it was just a girl that was beating on her. One of the
No.
guys looked
Break
out.
somebody's spine.
Yeah.
Opened up a can of whoop ass on their candy ass.
Like, that ain't funny.
It's not. It's terrible. God
And I'm up here laughing with my crazy self.
damn it. Like, but yeah, like
It's the way that he
there was
says it.
animosity, there was hatred, there was anger behind that, and
Oh,
it's
God.
something
That's
that
what I'm
someone had
saying.
to
That was
hold
some
on
pure
to
hate, man. That was some
lure her into a false sense of security. They had to isolate her. They got her away from people that
girl
her
suffered.
family probably. Like
This girl
and she
suffered.
has family, and that's what happened. Her family paid that $6,000. They got her body back. They got the story that she had OD'd from like
She didn't even have
from drinking
alcohol
too
in her
much liquor.
system.
That was
And
that was the other
but they
thing.
come in, you know, like at the
There was no
mortuary, they come in
alcohol.
to identify the body, and the family
Mm.
gets there and they probably see all these bruises and broken sternums and spines and shit. It's like, hold up now.
Well,
Y'all
Yeah, they
said
probably thought that the family didn't have the money to get the body back, so they
they
had to
probably,
take
and
their
you
word.
know what? They probably weren't even her friends and didn't think anyone cared about her. Because when you're that angry, you don't care about the people, the other people in this person's life that literally could be like, again, if this girl was a mother, this girl, like her, the people didn't care about that. This girl was she was a daughter, she was a sister. I don't know who exactly her family was, but she had family members. Obviously, they were able to get her body back. Someone loved her and cared about her enough that they wanted to lay her to rest enough to spend that money to get her. So she had people in her life that cared about her. But those people that she went on the trip with couldn't see that. They didn't care about that.
My
Not only
question
did they want to do her harm, they wanted to do her harm and get some clout for it.
damn.
Well, my question is that US 6,000 or pesos? Because why the heck did it cost $6,000 to ship a body?
That's some Amazon.
I don't know.
God.
I don't know the usual cost for shipping the body back. to
Trent,
I'm just,
It could have been expensive because shipping her on a plane.
but bodies are on a plane anyway. They're always being shipped.
Should have did it like Frank Lucas did it and put it
They
on a
would just have to
military plane.
extradite it and get it back here
Yeah.
at a certain amount
I
of
think
time.
it's just politics,
Evil.
you know.
Yes.
I'm like, was that peso? I tell you what, I'm sorry about them people, but if them people from over here, their families, my family, we would have been knocking on everybody's door. They'd be wishing the FBI came and picked them up.
Where's Shanquella at?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
you see, that's what they're basically a lot of people are doing there. The Facebook detectives have found out a lot of their addresses, and people.
Oh, this also needs to be said. Don't share certain addresses. Like
Threaten
people
them and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, are they going a little bit too far with that? Because they're also putting other people's lives in jeopardy that had nothing to do with the trash.
I saw a post today.
Yeah,
that
they're
said
endangering families.
Yeah, lady asking y'all please stop sharing because people think they're doxers. People, they figured out how to pull up some stuff. They think they're internet savvy now, and they've been pulling up people's addresses, trying to quote unquote expose them now. Some of these are outdated. The information that you're pulling up, like a lady said that, hey, I know y'all looking for this girl. She hasn't lived here for 3 years.
Yeah,
this has been my address. I have children, and you guess what? I'm a black woman. Sometimes people are just gonna. Sometimes we all look alike to certain people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's dangerous. You know
Well,
what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
When you have a rage in your eyes, then
people don't see
it's
because they
just.
don't give a fuck. Hey, that's the house that they said it was. I saw the address. This is that from
I
Twitter.
see a girl coming out the house. Mm-hmm.
Boom.
You know what? Social media is a blessing and a curse because, like, what happened now? She and I are friends. She lives in Colombia. This lady doesn't even like her, don't even know her. Just saw her in one of these like activism groups. The lady lives in Baltimore. She called this little young guy who lives in Brooklyn to call her and just like threaten her, like, I'm gonna kill you, your husband, and I'm gonna kill your kids. All of that, right?
Why?
So what she did was she went to the local police in Colombia, and they just kind of dropped the ball. They were like, okay, but no, he kept doing it. So last week she said, girl, let me tell you, you ain't gonna believe who at my house. I'm like, who? She said, the FBI, they look like they got on usher outfits. I said, the black suits with the white shirts. She said, girl, yeah, they in front of my house in Colombia. I said, what? They went and they asked her, interrogated her. They had my information. We were just on the phone. And then I'm so crazy. I ain't never had that. I said, wait, did y'all take pictures and all that? She said, girl, it's the FBI. You don't take no pictures of the FBI. But they had this lady, her YouTube page, her Twitter and all of that, and she was threatening people. They went and just locked her up. She like 60 years old in Baltimore, and they locked the other guy up, and they charged him with, both of them with murder for hire, because she paid him $50 from the Western Union in Baltimore.
$50?
Oh, she's stupid.
And he in Brooklyn, the other lady in Baltimore. I mean, people don't think. So you're like, well, how do you get your address? Been verified and all this, you know, and then you got, it could be like people that's in your circle. Sometimes people just have telephone numbers and addresses forever, and it's there. That's how they found her information. But when them cops pulled up, I mean FBI, oh my God, I didn't even know they pull up.
Here come the men in black.
Yeah, she said, girl, they look like churchers. And I didn't believe it. I said, let me see. She FaceTime, and they was on the phone. I said, oh my God. Yeah, they did. So they better watch out and be like, oh yeah, they ain't gonna get my information. Okay, they'll get you.
Like, we give up our information. If you have social media, they have your information. Like, y'all, like, come on, y'all. Like, they really be like, people that make YouTube videos threatening government officials and shit really think, well, I got ExpressVPN, so they can't trace me.
No,
my boy.
You cannot make this up. This guy, he's in trouble right now. He lives in Chicago. He done threatened the prosecutors in the R. Kelly case. He said 30 rounds, go kill these people. We're gonna storm the building. He's just a super fan. They have gone down there and locked him up. He's this crazy fan. They done locked him up. This fool now is got the ankle monitor. The FBI got him.
That man really went TP4. That man. Oh man.
Come on, he was. You can't make this up. Like, people are really crazy. Like,
yeah. I just think that everybody should leave it into like the law's hands instead of involving, you know, people who have nothing to do with this. Like, the giving out of the addresses is a lot, because, you know, they don't, what if they don't even live there anymore? You know, or like their parents, what if they live with their parents, you know, and then their parents get attacked, or children, right?
Just somebody with the same name.
Okay.
Some people just have the same name.
Yeah, like,
right.
Like, we don't know for sure. We're not, no one is the world's greatest detective except for me, literally. But it's not our job.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
I got you. Can you see it?
Women are the best detectives, but I'll just say it. Okay. But yeah, it's just people, I know they're upset and they want to solve like they want justice for her, but they are, you know, involving people who have nothing to, you know, do with it. And they just need to leave it to the police is going to get them. They're going to get what they, you know, have coming to them.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think it's going to take long. But rest in peace to Shanquella Robinson.
You don't think it's going to take long?
I don't think it's going to take, because one, I think they're already close anyway, and I think as Dr. Lamar said, one of them going to give up somebody else because they're going to feel that.
Oh yeah,
they're going to catch one of them lacking, and that's going to be the whole
time.
Somebody going to want to get reduced time, and they're going to tell on somebody else to get that reduced time. So instead of 10 years,
one of them going to sit down with Vlad.
30 years, they're going to get 15 years for telling on the other group.
POP. Hold it down.
One of them going to sit down with Vlad. I'm telling you, one of them going to sit down with Vlad or academics.
I mean, and then that state that they live in, the state can work with Mexico, because they can like say, you know, if they want to send them, if they want to give Mexico all rights to them, they can, or whatever. But they could put that on them. They could like, shoot, we can send y'all to Mexico, and that's a totally different system right there.
Hey, look, North Carolina is mad red.
Security though, I thought that's Homeland Security, because that's different countries.
Yeah, I mean, it is out of the jurisdiction, but I mean, it's the family is pressing charge. It is a murder. Like, I mean, again, I'm not a lawyer, but the family is pressing charges. So I don't know who handles that. Is it? I mean, it might be. I don't think it would be the FBI. Would it be?
I thought it was like Homeland Security because don't they deal with international?
Yeah,
I tell you
I
what,
believe so.
even if they got 5 years, y'all, even if they got 5 years, that's like 20 years. I'll bet you they're gonna be. Oh my God!
But they're back on U.S. soil, so the U.S. will arrest them.
Yeah, they don't.
And then they can work with Mexico and stay. If the U.S. is just like shit, I mean, at the end of the day, like y'all are wrong. We finna get y'all back to them. We finna get y'all to them, and they can prosecute y'all.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure murder is still illegal in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
I know they're coming over here a lot, but I'm pretty sure it's because murder. I mean, murder is still illegal over there.
It's all about who you are a citizen of. They are United States citizens,
right? They are United States. Yeah.
So, and I think Mexico probably has a problem with that. Don't come over here and murder people in Mexico.
It's a politic thing, so they're gonna have to go back and forth. So,
all right, guys, let's leave that subject there. We're getting ready to wrap the show up, but before we wrap the show up, we gotta do the deepest thought for tonight. Yeah, we just play a video where there's no really opinion needed. We just watch and just let it marinate. And
we want to pray or something.
No. Well, you can if you want to.
Right, you want to pray?
The man in the video kind of prayed towards the end, but I'll let you check that out.
Well, thank you for having me.
Look at his little cartoon.
I'm an untrained meteorologist reporting on the snow. I mean, it's in the streets. God damn.
Yeah, I remember that.
I gotta go back. I gotta watch it again.
Untrained meteorologist.
That is so wrong.
Reporting on the snow.
Yes.
I mean, it's in the streets. God damn.
Lord Jesus.
One more time.
Meteorologist reporting on the snow. I mean, it's in the streets.
It's in the streets.
Damn.
And now you're in the
street. His shoe was across the street.
Ooh, that Stacey Adams went flying.
My shoe.
You should have known.
I hope he's okay.
I know he was out there in church too.
Meteorologist. It's in the streets.
I want to know what his meteorological explanation is going to be. I want to know what he was about to tell me. It's snowing everywhere.
That was funny.
All over the place, everywhere, all at once.
Boy. Okay. Dr. Lamar, I'd like to thank you for coming on the show. Give us a shout out for your show. Where can we find you, and what's your show about before we go off the air? Give us a little information about yourself.
Oh my God, thank you. I felt like I came on and hijacked the show. I gave 15-20 minutes about my opinion. I'm sorry.
No, that's what you're supposed to do.
Oh,
maybe not 15-20 minutes, but yeah, go ahead. You good.
No, I go too far. So my show is called The Truth of the Matter Podcast with Dr. Spencer, and we talk about everything about relationships. So it could be about anything, and work-life balance and bullying, but I try to keep it funny. Preezy's been on it. We just talk. That's all. We just have a conversation. That's what it is. And I'm on all the socials, and that's just kind of like how it is.
What's your tag? What's your on your socials? So we gotta find you.
Oh shoot! Look, I was gonna say if you Google me, but I realized there's some other Lamari names out there, and just in case y'all have us trying to commit a crime, it ain't me. Okay, so
allegedly.
No, that's true. Okay,
it's nice, allegedly.
Yeah. Okay, so it's like Dr. Lamar Spencer. Trust me, I will come up on my socials. I'm new to podcasting. I've only been doing it for 6 years, but if you type in the words, I will come up.
All right, she'll come up.
Awesome, great. It was nice to have you and see you.
I bet she's on there too.
Yeah, I'll be up. I'm up there.
All right.
Thank
Okay,
you.
all right. Appreciate you coming on the show. You know, we got an invitation to come back. You know, on the next episode too. You know, we'll see what we'll talk about. Controversial next week. But yeah, you got an invitation to come back. You know, just
Thank you.
we'll talk later.
I
Go
want
ahead.
to talk about that take up, but I don't want the Jay Prince and them be trying to come after me because I ain't got it.
Uh-oh.
R.I.P. Takeoff.
No, Charleston White is gonna be on your corner, so you ain't got to worry about that.
Yeah, he
Charleston White just got flamed by Tip.
Oh, Jesus.
That weak ass diss he had.
Hey, look, hey,
He actually helped him out. He made him
flamed that
more
man
relevant.
eloquently. He flamed that man eloquently. Charleston White, you have 24 hours to respond.
Yeah, he already did. He did that today without music.
Word.
Yeah.
All right,
He actually
good
helped
shit.
him out. He makes him more relevant by talking to him, which he said he would never do. He never would talk about him, but now he made a whole
Harris
song.
Jr., you have 24 hours to respond to
Charleston
that.
better stop because somebody just released a video of him talking about he raped somebody, so he better stop.
Yeah, but there's a story behind that, and yeah, he didn't really rape somebody. That's a character thing he's doing. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Look, don't y'all be coming after me. Not y'all
doing Unforgivable.
Don't y'all people be coming after me because you'll just be practicing.
All right.
I don't want none of them gang members coming after me.
Appreciate you coming on, Dr. Lamar Renee Spencer. Let me say it right, Dr. Lamar Renee Spencer.
Oh Lord Jesus! I
Shout
hate attention. You see them just call me Lamar. Like I said, I gotta put my whole name because I didn't realize it was a group of them out there. Like
Yeah.
you got gremlins.
Got to separate you from the worst to the best. Got to put you out there with the doctor attached to it.
No, it's some fools out there probably got a warning. I don't want no mistakes.
If we see you getting arrested in the middle of the podcast, we'll know what happened. No, that's
Yeah,
not Lamar.
I've seen that
Dr.
before.
Lamar.
You never know. I done seen people get locked up on podcasts.
Who you hanging out with?
One of these days.
No,
y'all will.
on these podcasts like
No.
YouTube and all that, you just be on a video. They be talking about
I know. I'm afraid of that happening one day. I'm gonna be.
Yeah,
In,
no, I've seen that.
I'm gonna be in the middle of some ish. And this is why the Jews.
The next episode.
I'm sorry, y'all. We trying to.
No,
all right,
it's good.
Sound therapy podcast.
Raz, thanks for coming on the show. Preezy, thanks for coming on the show. Lord Trent, again, thanks for your
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead. Better be good though. Don't say nothing about the Jews,
the dreidels.
No. I want to say rest in power, my brother Chris Styles. You know, we love and miss you. And it's not the same without you. But I'm glad to have others, you know, with like-minded individuals with, you know, who are very intellectual. And I enjoyed our conversation tonight. I miss my brother. So.
No doubt. Yeah, Chris Styles was a former member of our show.
Oh,
That's earlier this year.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's nice to meet you, Raz.
Nice to meet you, Raz.
Nice to meet you. I'm glad we got more women on here, okay?
Oh, that is dope.
I think
it's a black
one is enough, right?
Yeah, but I talk too much.
It's okay. We all talk. That we need that. So
you can gang up on people. So y'all, that's what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna gang up on?
Yeah, because when he uses those 3 blades on his head, he gets extra spicy.
The 3? No, it's 5. 5.
5.
Like Dylon.
Even better.
I'm going up to 7 next month when I can afford it. All right. Appreciate y'all coming on the show, getting some hostile therapy, not because you want it, but because you need it. And we will see you next Thursday. Well, actually, next Thursday is Thanksgiving, so we probably won't.
Yeah. Which you shouldn't be celebrating, y'all, because, again, murder and slaughter.
Trent, be quiet. Go sleep.
No, I'm just eating. It just happens to be a lot of food that day that happens to be fixed on a Thursday.
I am going to.
We can't eat.
Yeah, y'all can eat. Go ahead. Yeah. Just don't recognize Thanksgiving. That's it.
Native. Oh, dang. Bye, Red.
He just left.
Right, he just left.
He came and took him. And he ain't even say nothing about the turkey.
Right. They done took him away.
He came in his
one of us is
studio
next.
and took him off. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I
No,
don't know what. I don't.
You disappeared. You zoomed real quick and came back.
I have no idea what just happened. So I guess it's trying to tell me to get off
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
Go
But,
ahead and celebrate Thanksgiving, I guess.
it's because we said the J word. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Took us off.
Celebrate Chanukah.
We better get off of here before we're all going
Yeah, right.
get arrested by the
Because
IRS.
you're supposed to say Passover. You're supposed
They'll
to
just
celebrate.
be practicing with me.
Right. All right. So y'all have a good night. We'll see y'all on the next
Have a good
podcast.
night. Be safe.
All right.
Shalom.